creative.
Hello and welcome. This is Malta Poet Society online open mic version October 2021. Paolo, take it away.
Take it away. I keep taking it away. I don't know what to take away, but you know. Yeah, I'd like to thank you for attending tonight. I do appreciate people actually being involved because I think this is very important that people have cultural connections. And at this time, it's a bit dodgy. You don't quite know, whether you can go out or not and stuff. And it's a bit disruptive, you know what I mean? And there's a kind of, this is actually works quite well. I really hate the whole medium, but it works actually quite well because people sit and relax, and as the evening goes on, it gets better, and people actually speak quite personally about how they feel. And because of the kind of people also are interested in people and in life, humanity, humanitarianism, so and animals as well. So that's it. So what we have tonight is basically mostly, I think, poetry and probably some music as well. And so what we're going to do is going to start with our first contestant, and, who's her name's Claire Wiggins, and she's from Liverpool, of course, the best musical city in the world, as a friend of mine felt it was. When I told him it was the best in Britain, he said no, the world, and I wouldn't argue with that, you know. And she's going to, I don't know what she's going to do. She's going to do a pair of poetry, I imagine. So I'll shut up and pass it over.
I was gonna do some songs, but I'm too shy. But some of my poetry just turned into songs. But I've got a lot of my poetry I started writing in the 90s when I was kind of part of the North Wales music scene, the dance music scene, really, and North Wales techno crew, to be precise. Anyway, so I've just got some of my poetry now. Did I do Viewing Bye Bye the other day, like the other week? Viewing Bye Bye.
Well, I've got
as you're viewing, you're buying. No, I can't remember.
Got Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah. Anyway, so these are a bit kind of cynical anyway. So this one's called What a State. Really, you need to be standing up and stamping your feet, like marching like that. What a state, a police state. What a state, please state where you're going, what you're doing, where you've been, what you're doing, what's he doing, how do you know him, see your friend? What a state, a police state. What a state, we're gonna dictate.
Oh, come on.
Oh, don't. Oh, thank you. Just because he's got a big wad doesn't mean he's loaded. Just because he's always been cool doesn't mean he'll never be shady. Just because he's got loads of friends doesn't mean they'll be there. Just because he feels like it's ended doesn't mean he'll never get back there. Just because you meet at a party doesn't mean you can't get serious. Just because you take a few drugs doesn't mean that's why you give it loads. Just because you mention your mate doesn't mean you'll always get sorted. And just because you always get in there doesn't mean you'll always be wanted. Just because there's a system doesn't mean there's a party. Just because there's choices doesn't mean we can make any. Just because their voice doesn't mean what it's saying. Just because there's music doesn't mean that we're playing.
I love that.
And this one called It's a Fact. It's a fact, right? If something's black, something's white. If something's shady, someone's bright. Going up means coming down. Leaving the country means leaving your town. If something's full, something's empty. If you've got nothing, someone's got plenty. It's a fact, right?
Amazing.
There you go. That's
Cool.
my little few pieces.
I hope that Zoom kept on recording because we got thrown out.
So far.
Right. So thank you very much, Claire. So you're
Thank you.
taken care of, and thank you for your contribution.
Thank you very much. I'll stick around for a bit and then I'll just get off when I need to.
That was the idea,
Okay.
really. Yeah. That was
Yeah,
the
thank you very much. Thanks.
So I think I'll go next. Actually, I thought I'd leave it to later, but then I thought no, that's too humble, and I'll step into the.
Gotta save the best till last, Paul.
I know I've got some.
But he's not the best, obviously.
No,
So
I've
that's
got both.
okay.
I've got both. Got both ends covered, front and end, the front and back. Okay, right.
Well,
Okay,
if
so-
you're going, I'll pin you
Pin me. Don't.
and I'll turn it on to you.
Yes. All right. That would be its center.
Mhm.
Exactly. Okay. So I've got some of my own poems, and but I've got this as a song, which I like. I like the writer of the song, and I'm going to read it like a poem. It's kind of like from progressive rock from the early 70s, and I think I like a lot of that music still. Anyway, this is called it's called Ghosts. Here we go. Go to sleep, my babies. Don't you wake up. The stars will keep you company, so close your eyes. Old Auntie Moon will shine her dearest, sweetest dreams and hold you in her arms until the morning comes. Night light. Dark the night, not a sound. Damp and cold, frosty ground. Above your head the lion screams to tear you from your moonlight dreams. Damp and sweat, mouth is dry, twisted branches catch the eye. Beside the bed the angel stands. You cannot touch its withered hands. Guardian angel. As the lion's eyes dance before me, they are kindly yet bloody red. I can see that he is smiling, but I cannot live inside his head. There the needle stands before me. I climb in it towards the light, where the angel stands in glory. His sword of peace defends the night. So the world is spread before, as I fly on angel's wings. But the angel is deceiving, for he is weeping as he sings. Nightlight. Early birds, morning breeze, spinning leaves, sleepy trees, gently tap the window pane. It's good to see the sun again.
That's a new one.
Thank you.
I never heard that.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's just have a little ding, see where we end up. Fiona, it says. There we go. I just did it by
That's
hand.
Fiona, right?
And so it's Fiona's input now. I don't know. I think it's poetry that you mentioned. You're going to do some poetry. So
So what I've chosen, being a newcomer to this, is to actually read one of my top three. It's a poem that I have actually used as my own Bible for my own life forces, my own life energies, my own life choices. So it's something very dear to me. And at the times we're living in right now, it just kind of really is there for me. So the poem I'd like to offer is The Invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have been touched by the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. I want to know if you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it isn't pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand on the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the middle of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when it all falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments.
Wow.
Well, thank you very much for that, Fiona. That
Was that your own, you said, Fiona?
No, it was written by a woman called Oriah Mountain Dreamer, and it's called The Invitation. And she wrote then a whole book on each aspect of it, and I think she's gone on and written one or two other books. But it just I'm now in my 50s. I know I don't look it, but back in my 20s, I read this and got it, and I was like, wow, you know.
Yeah, it impressed me. I was going to ask if you could send me the link because I have a group of people I'd like to send it to. If it's okay for you, maybe after the fact.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Wow. Huh?
Yeah, 10 out
Wow.
of 10. Very good. And
Amazing.
very well rendered as well.
Articulated, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I love the honesty. Yeah, just that beauty that you mentioned in the poem as well, you know, was present in its honesty. It's lovely. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I really love the visceral reality
Yeah.
and the truth of all of us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, if we really risk being alive, this is what we are.
Well, I think is if we become what we are, and um, then we can express things. I would think more in that way, obviously in our own individual way, but in that direction. I find, in other words, it's not superficial existence, and our relationship to it is so important in how we actually connect with life around us. And I see that's as part of the purpose of life is connecting, relationship, not isolation. I don't want to be in a mountain, hidden away in a cave. Not for me. I'm not interested. But maybe some people, but I feel it's important.
I wouldn't mind sometimes. So, yeah.
Now and again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not a life of isolation. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Okay, enough talk. Maybe Norman next.
Yep.
Norman is going to entertain you. What are you going to do?
Mela, I'm going to do some short poems and a little something on the drum right now. Later on, I'll have that guy. Can you see this? Can you see the name here?
Yeah, Beethoven.
Okay, good. I'm inspired by him, and I'm crossbreed inspiring by your comments, Paolo. And I'll do another session later on the piano, you know. So thank you for that. And for the moment, okay. So let me pin me and come like this. This is nice. I like that. I like it that way.
Okay.
Replace pin. So there you go. Okay. So this is starting, finally, in my opinion, finally, to get to what I call good weather. What I call good weather, okay? So yeah, so what I would like to do is I'd like to start with a haiku, then a short poem, and then another haiku, and I have a special tinge to that one. So the first haiku is called Petrichor. Now, Petrichor, for anybody watching, maybe even later on, is Petrichor means the smell of the soil after the rain. Just before I start, there seems to be some radio waves going on somewhere. I'm not sure
Someone's voice.
whose it is, or whether it is my own giving feedback. I'm not sure.
My phone's off.
Okay.
Just try to see this.
Just noticed that it's been increasing. That's why.
It seems to have stopped now.
Okay, good. Okay, Petrichor, haiku. Haiku is a 3-line, very short Japanese style poem with 5 syllables in the first and the third line and 7 syllables in the second. So it's 5, 7, 5. And that's the long version. The short version is 3, 5, 3. I prefer the longer one. Not that it is too long, but anyway. So yeah, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. You have to express yourself really finely. So, Petrichor. Entering the nose. Feeding imagination. Bowing to the rain. And that's the first poem there. So, in the theme of the weather, or the, how shall I say, the climate changing, right, towards more wintry. Then I have this short one called Thunderbolt. Now, Thunderbolt, spelt as in correct language, Thunderbolt, but I, in the reflection, when composing this poem, I respelt it for the purpose of my observations too. I respelt it like this: Ton, ton, that is for weight. There, There, that's for direction. And bolt is the connection, something to do. So, here is the poem, Thunderbolt. Applying weight, hence pressure, in a direction maybe a point, a place, situation, etc., that might require healing of sorts in order to bolt, connect, improve, resolve, heal, whatever needs healing. This is a reflection that in life, sometimes, we need a sudden, intense, unexpected, highly charged, energy-rich event of sorts in order to connect, heal, bond. Quite much like the act of soldering. Warning, there may be quite some heat involved. So that's second short poem, and this is the last haiku for the moment, and this is in Maltese, but I will explain it, of course. Haiku, same style, 575. This one is in Maltese. I'll read it as is and then I'll explain it. Xeba xita, haiku. Taħsel u tinżel fuq kollox u kull imkien. Tixtieq tinħasel? So I explained it line by line. Xeba xita means like a lot of rain, and it's more of a colloquial way of saying a lot. Xeba xita, a lot of rain. So the first line is taħsel u tinżel. It washes and it pours. Fuq kollox u kull imkien. On everything and everywhere. Tixtieq tinħasel? Would you like to get to wash yourself, to get washed? So that's the 3 poems there. And next is a little doodle on a more metallic this time. This is metal. Under here there is a metal ring and it sounds metallic as well. So a bit of a metallic tarbuka-like little doodle here. Another time I will use the actual African style djembe, but this is more tarbuka-like.
Yay, well done.
Thank you. Back to speaker view, because next, where is speaker view? Thank you. Isa. There you are. I mean back to gallery view, sorry. There you are, back to all of us. And here we have nice speech. Who shall we put on next?
The drumming sound, it had that quality of water thumping down. It was lovely. Enjoyed that.
I was actually thinking during the other items, what shall I do? Shall I do something sounding like water? Because all my poems are like weather related and water related, and it actually came out without even particularly intending it. So thank you for that observation.
Nice.
Wow.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's great. Peaches are lovely.
It looks tasty. It sounds tasty.
If you could only taste what I'm tasting now,
Oh, it looks nice.
you'd be 100% happier. I tell you now. You're in the wrong business. You should sell peaches. Anyway.
Particularly Maltese ones.
Oh, Maltese ones, yes, definitely. They come from Italy. That's why they're so good.
Ooh.
You ever tasted Maltese olives? Oh, my Christ. You wouldn't give them to someone you hated. I mean, it tastes like shit. I mean, honestly, it's really bad. You know, if you hate someone, give them a bottle of Maltese olives. So this is especially for you. I was thinking of you when I saw them in the shop.
You're giving me ideas.
Lisa's, we'll have Lisa, who's a
Oh,
singer,
okay.
singer, songwriter, and musician. And
Okay.
she's
So this.
I'll just turn you over to her. But Lisa.
Sorry.
Owen.
So this is quite a new instrument for me. So please do excuse my thumping away on it. Yeah, recently I watched a film that's been out since 2005, Walk the Line. But it just made an impression upon me because I'm kind of experimenting with Americana music, which is like a hodgepodge of all the roots American style music. And so it just came out to me. It was kind of the relationship between Johnny Cash, who I've always enjoyed, and June Carter, so the Carter family, going back to the early 1900s. Developed their own style of kind of Appalachian, folky, early American style music. But I think is it Joaquin Phoenix, that actor? He's like a method actor. I think he also played the Joker.
The Joker and Christ in
yeah, he was really good.
Brilliant.
And was it Reese Witherspoon who played June Carter? But it just left, I found the film quite amusing. It left this kind of impression on me because he was trying to marry her for years and they did performances together and she was like, hell no, because his life was kind of a mess at that time. And so there was an attraction between them. I think there was some chemistry and some bonds, like they used to have these deep and meaningful conversations while they were on tour, but she just knew, don't go near that, because at that time I think there was a lot of barbiturates. It does mention them in the film. I can't remember the name of what he was taking, but he was like becoming a bit of a mess on stage as well, like falling down and all this kind of stuff. So she just knew, this is not a good time. And so he kept proposing to her and she kept saying no. So I kind of, a little bit tongue-in-cheek, a little bit of fun. But there's about, as with this style of music, there's about 6 verses. Don't worry, it's quite fast. We get through it quite quick. But yeah, she's just, it's about that kind of dynamic between them, which I found quite, in a way, a bit humorous at the time. So I haven't memorized them all yet. I only wrote it about a week ago, something like that. So this is called You Ain't Got Me. It did start out like I was going to do a bit of a country feel to it. It is fairly straight. There's not much of a swing to it, but it's got a bluesy feel as well. So it's called You Ain't Got Me. And I only decided the title today because I thought I've got to call it something, haven't I? I'm coming on. Honey, be good now. You better be strong. Think that you got me, but you could be wrong. You ain't got me. No, you ain't got me. Just a feeling in your soul, it's driving you on. You ain't got me. Baby, be sugar. He's sweet when he's nice. You think that you got me, oh, you better think twice. Ain't got me. No, you ain't got me. Just a feeling in your bones, it's driving you on. You ain't got me. You tell me don't need ya, he'd still try and try. Tell you he's got you, no, it's only in your mind. You ain't got me. Hell no, you ain't got me. Just a feeling in your soul, it's driving you on. You ain't got me. Baby's been good to me, some baby's been right. Had lots of fun, kept me up half the night. You ain't got me. Hell no, you ain't got me. Just a tingle in your bones is driving you on. You ain't got me. You take the back seat and I'll take the front. We'll go for a ride, look for something real.
Don't do that.
What's happened?
The same thing like before.
Signal, is it?
Mm.
Signal.
I think so.
I think so.
It could be combination of ours or theirs. It doesn't have to be mine, but
Oh, I see. Okay.
I took a freeze picture for that because that's a nice one for her. And so we'll wait a little bit, we'll go out, we'll come in again.
Uh-oh. Very cool.
Oh,
Very,
thank you.
very cool. Loved it. Because you don't often hear a song about that ironic kind of phase of, you know, yeah, that's cool.
That kind of being pursued and all that kind of stuff.
Unrequited, not quite making it, not quite on the same tracks.
He got her in the end, but there wasn't enough verses really. I needed another 10
Wasn't it?
to cover the whole story, but yeah, just a bit of fun.
That was very good. Thanks, Lisa. That was very good. I really enjoyed it, listening to it, and the your presentation of it. You know, the way you sang it, to me, felt very, very present with what you were doing, and passionate, without being over the top. It's kind of a fine thing. Sometimes people, not saying you, but people try and do too much. You just did it. It's just you just doing it with some momentum, with some gusto, but not trying to. You know, that was good. Thank you very much. Okay, so next, let's see. How about Robin?
Actually, I just remembered a poem that I wrote. I haven't done any poetry for a very long time, but
Okay.
that's why I left for a moment to go see if I could find it. It's a poem I wrote in memory of my grandmother. I actually said it at her funeral, and it's called "I Am More Than Just a Name."
Okay. Do you want to just introduce?
Just a name more than.
Sorry, I don't know you. We haven't communicated before. Could you just say a couple of words about what your background, maybe, to other people?
Oh, how much time do we have?
Well, we've got 2 hours for you because you're in Israel.
Okay, so I am originally from Canada. I've been living the last 18 years in Israel. I have a background in the computer field, and now professionally also in the animal healthcare field. That sort of came to be. It stems from. I also have a background in the human medical field as a paramedic for over 28 years as well. So I decided when I came to Israel, I didn't like the situation here with the organizations that were doing the ambulatory service here, very politically based. So I decided to go into the natural medical field and started studying natural medicine to be a naturopath. And then that's the connection, my love for animals, to do natural health care for dogs. That's basically in a nutshell. Any questions?
No, that's
Wow.
great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Sorry, anyone else want to speak? No, that's it. Off you go. Carry on.
Okay, so the poem is called "I Am More Than Just a Name." I am more than just a name, more than a body, I am me. As you remember the hard times we fought together and the great times we shared too, the times of laughter and love and the times of trouble and blue, for I will always be in your memories. Hang on a second here. The heart and soul of me lives on. As long as you remember, I am not gone. I have gone on to greater goals and dreams, for I am a memory. So shed your tears for me right now. But always remember life must go on, and I have achieved great success, for memories are not forgotten, but blessed.
Ooh.
That was a nice one.
Yeah.
Have you got another one?
Not, I just moved, so I was lucky to be able to find that one.
Okay. Well,
To find out that particular one in the memory book that I created for my grandmother. So.
okay. So anyway, maybe maybe a little bit of, can you just, I think it'd just be nice to include you a little bit more. You can say a little bit about your work, because that seems very important for you.
My current work, well, I'm still doing computer stuff, mostly working with nonprofit organizations, to try and to empower them, to be able to do more and understand without having to have the overhead expense of hiring high-end agencies to promote what they're doing. I think it's very important that they can back some of the control and learn to do some of the things that they need to promote what their organization's purpose is. My work with the animals is very important to me because they are little souls that give us unconditional love. And especially in dogs, which is predominantly where I'm working in right now, dogs' bodies, much to everybody's surprise when I tell them, their internal organs of a dog is almost identical to us. So to transfer the skills of doing these type of treatments, i.e. I do anything that's holistic in the sense of herbs and aromatherapy, reflexology, massage, acupuncture. It's all totally transferable from humans to dogs. The only difference is obviously from the holistic perspective in the sense of the herbs and the aromatherapy is the amount of medicine, just like with normal medicine, with what you have to give them the level of a child from age 0 to 3. Obviously the reflexology and the massage and that type of stuff, it's exactly the same application, acupressure as well. It's just a matter of how you apply that, where the joints are that you touch and where on the bottoms of their little feet that you do the reflexology, because it's not typical like on a human foot. There's the little pads on the bottom and in between the pads of their feet and the ankle joint and the knee joint. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different, the application, but the outcome is just incredible. My own dog, Teddy, he had cancer when he was 6 months old. I had actually treated him and was able to cure him and to bring him back to full health because of in addition, and he never needed any like chemical type of treatment, but just it takes a little bit longer and a little bit of care and love and patience with them, and the response is just incredible.
So
Wow.
using my bluebell, she's 14. That is lovely. She's a greyhound, but her legs are starting to weaken and go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to not long distances, but do more walks, keep her legs active. But she's got a corn on one of her front feet.
Yeah.
And they told me that apart from amputating a toe and things like that, she goes to Lea Hurst, which is like the local orthopedics place by me. But it'll just grow back, so in terms of a corn, I don't know. I just keep trying to shave it down for her so it's more comfortable for her to walk on. But the main thing that concerns me is her legs weakening. So I try and rub her legs, but I don't know kind of where I can kind of get the circulation improving and how to do it properly. Again, because you were saying it's a little bit different, so I don't know if you have any information or you can guide me to anything that
I'd be happy to speak with you offline as well, a little bit more of the background. But there's I guess one of the main ideas, and especially if you're like shaving down certain parts, and is obviously like anything, like is sterility of keeping the area clean so it doesn't get infected as well.
for that.
Yeah, so I can give you an example, like what I did with my dog recently. He gets hot spots sometimes, and I tried using the typical steroids and that type of treatment for him, and it didn't do anything. And the second time I went, but this year I went back to the vet, and he went as far as to tell me, well, it's not really a hot spot. it's a psychological issue. And I just went, really? Seriously, we want to go that route? Because I'm unfortunately in the conventional medical field, some of the doctors are not so keen on natural type of treatments. I put lavender oil on his paw, and I used energy, you know, giving him positive reinforcement and holding his paw after I put the lavender oil, and literally within a couple of weeks the hot spot was gone.
It's amazing. I suppose it's like, obviously not like the cheaper lavender oils. It has to be the higher.
It doesn't have to be anything special. I get it from the health food store. That's the whole point. That's my whole point. Even with the computers, I like to say I like to empower the person that's that the Amuta, the nonprofit, that's give them back the power to keep it simpler, so that they can learn the basics and to take back the power themselves. And that's the same with owners, with dog owners. I'm hoping to get more into cats as well, but obviously I grew up with dogs, so my knowledge is much stronger in dogs. But the whole point is, even with humans, we don't always put chemicals in our body, okay? Animals too, like I said, dogs especially are just like us. And I had an example where I myself, after going through some traumas in the past couple of years, I lost a couple of years ago, and I get what's called stress-related diabetes. It's not around my diet or anything like that. My blood sugar, my fasting blood sugar in the morning went up over 350. Okay. And I went to my doctor and he got all angry with me. He says, "What are you going to let me do?" And I just looked, and I said, "Nothing." I said, "It's in my history. It's in my medical record that I deal with a lot of conventional medical treatment. I'm not against it in any way at all. I believe they work well together." But I came back to him. I saw him 6 months later, and on my own, through meditation and proper care of myself, and you know, watching, some part of it was diet related to, I lowered my carbohydrate intake. Within 6 months, I had my fasting blood sugar down from 350 to 103.
Wow.
So like everything in life, a lot, not all of it, but there's a lot of factor of mindset and positive reinforcement and believing in yourself that you can change these things. My dog, for instance, I when his paw bothers him, he steps on something when we're walking. I put a little lavender oil on it because it's antibacterial. I hold his paw, I give him a hug, and I say everything's going to be okay. And within a day, it's okay.
So should this corn, do you think it'd be okay to try the lavender on there? And
yeah, because it's antibacterial for sure.
Just one drop, neat? Or
Yeah. So the other thing you can use the lavender for is to help calm her down before you do it as well. You take a half a drop of lavender and you rub it between your fingers, and you start from the eyebrow on the dog, and you rub it back through the dog's head to the nape of their neck. And what they're doing basically is that by rubbing it, you're softening the sense, because animals' smell is at least 10 times stronger than ours. And then you start about this, you know, about a couple inches from her nose, and you slowly let her smell the lavender. And you'll notice within half a minute to a minute, she's completely relaxed. Then you can do almost anything you want with the dog, because she will be more relaxed and comfort with the fact she knows that you're not there to hurt her. The lavender also, as I said, has antibacterial properties, so it's going to keep any infection away. With the corn, you can actually, instead to shave it down, you can try and put her paw into, if she'll let you hold her paw into a bowl of warm water, not hot, not just like enough that it softens it, and then almost like getting a hard spot on your foot, you can gently use a pumice stone and just sort of gently shave it down that way, and it's not going to be as forceful on her foot. So.
Yeah, I can do pretty much, you know, anything with her. She's so used to me handling her because I was handling her from when she was 3 weeks old, being specialized, and then I took her at 8 weeks old. So it's unusual to get a greyhound puppy, but I had to pick the litter because they'd been shipped over from Dogs Trust Island to Liverpool. They'd shut somewhere down, and the mum and dad, they were Irish racers, came with the pups. So I've had her since 8 weeks old. So she trusts me completely. I could.
That's great. That's great. You don't have to be forceful with these things, because as long as you, we get corns on our feet as well. Sometimes some people, like, especially as people get older, it's just, if you soften it first, then it's obviously going to be less stressful for her, because it won't be as putting pressure on from the hardness of the corn. Do you know why she's getting these?
Apparently it's a greyhound thing, other dogs don't get them. That's what I've been told. Other breeds don't really suffer.
What kind of food is she eating?
She's on fourth glade, which is like brown rice, and it's meant to be a nice food, but I also cook her chickens, and she has a lot of I've just cooked her one now. Most days I could just cook her chicken and give her chicken, as well as this fourth glade, as well as I have this pucha mutt, which is like digestion skin powder that sometimes I can get a bit in food if she'll let me. And I also have her on the golden turmeric golden paste. And the other thing is, it's like a dog, omega-3, green lipid mussels. It's got
excellent. Omega-3 is great for dogs. Yes.
Okay, folks, can we just need to push on?
Sorry, dog obsessed.
So much. What you were doing is far more interesting than the show. So I mean, seriously, it's good stuff to hear, and it's good to hear your passion and interest about it, Robin.
Well, as Norman can tell you, we discussed for hours on end last night. One of the things that I want to do is to start doing like online sessions as well. So anybody to join on the session.
So this is a very, very interesting like culture and arts actually affect human life in a very particular manner, and this is one of the examples that we have expanded into in these last 2 years, given the situation. So like turn everything into a positive approach. So we have, who's left?
Me
and Lexi.
And Lexi. You got Lexi?
Yeah, I got Lexi.
All right then. We'll put Lexi on next.
Mala, okay. So sorry to interrupt this beautiful discussion, lovely darlings, but it's like ideal that you keep on doing it like between you.
I could talk for hours, so.
I know that.
No kidding. I'm surprised. I can tell you. Not.
Mala, okay, let's introduce.
But it's okay.
Can you introduce Lexi?
Thank you.
Put her on.
Yeah, Lexi's, I think she's 9 years old. She's very, very talented. She lives on the island of Gozo with her mom and dad. And she literally makes songs up as she goes along. She can just start singing. Wow. And they just come out. The words just come out. She can do it for like 3-4 minutes. And she dances with the songs, and she's always doing things. There's either painting or making something or doing something or dancing around, and she's extremely creative. And she's in an environment which is, I would say, probably 180 degrees the opposite. The school, the mentality, the rigidity, the isolation, and it's she's a lovely girl. And so what I always ask her to do is, if she can't be, it's a bit difficult connecting up. So we do a little video of her when she wants to do it. And this is one of her little things she did for this show. So her name's Lexi, and we can stick her on, can we?
Absolutely. Okay. Here we go. So what I need to do is share screen and get Lexi's video on. There we are. And play.
Was this from last time?
I know the sun's bright, make it look hard, but if it's going down, that's when the lights go on. But if they're upwards, the stars won't shine, so put them down and they will shine down. The stars glow, the stars glow all day, the stars glow, the stars glow all day, but is it in night, not the day? So you know, so you know, so you know. There is the sun, there is the moon, there is the stars, there is the moon. I know there's something like you do. Say what you do. There is the sun, there is the moon, there is the sky, there is the blue. I've never seen what you can do. If you make it shine now, if you make it shine, then make it shine, make it shine. Make it shine.
Holy. Whoa.
Well, you
So
see,
much- my God.
that's some medicine, that. I mean, as I say, you know, I go often to see my friends, and I'm a godfather as well. I kind of suggested it possibly, because, well, she said, who better than you, you know, because I'm an old guy and into spirit, and it's my life, really. So, yeah, so it's nice. I want to see it so creative. I feel a bit sad sometimes because the environment is just, it's a village mentality, but it's great to see her perform, put it that way.
Yeah, it's very uplifting.
Yeah, and she's
Love-
always like this. She just wants to give. She feels a lot of love for things. Very natural with her, you know. She's, you know, she's a bit of a character sometimes, you know, a bit of a madam. She has to, you know, but she's a good heart, very good-hearted person. So I like to encourage her to do things that
Yeah,
she can see.
definitely. They're the
Okay.
future.
Sorry.
They're the future, aren't they? Our children today, and yeah, definitely.
Okay. Right. So I got a few poems of my own now. So they're all short poems. So, and when in the old days, you know, when I remember poetry at school, for Christ's sake. I mean, the poem was 5 minutes long, you know. And they
It's
said,
like the First World War or something.
yeah, and it was the First World War. You were in the direct line of fire, you know, by the guns of the poetry, because you'd just be sort of smashed with the poetry, you know. You kind of like, oh my God, poetry, you know. Well, you know. So one of the things I did when I started writing poetry was no longer than 30 seconds a poem. So, and when I announced that, it's interesting. When I did it in Liverpool, I used to go around do stuff. I did that for a year and a half in different places. And when you tell people, I watch the looks on the faces, and you say only 30 seconds the poem, and they smile. They smile because they know they're not going to be kind of like poeted, you know, at, which people can do. They can get a bit self-indulgent, and if you've got something that's kind of long, it's you can smile for a while, and then you kind of think when they're going to finish. So one of my reasons is to keep it short so people feel okay with it. It's like you go, oh yeah, I can get my head around 30 seconds, 45 seconds. So here we go. Let's see.
Let's spin you.
These are about 4 of them I think I've got, but they're all, as I say, they're short, and all of them are related. All of them are related. All of them are related to my own experience. They're not. They're not. Well, it's imagination as well, but the imagination. I've had an experience that's made my imagination work to produce the poem. Let's say that. Okay, here we go. Do I need those glasses on? No. Okay, this is called It's Life Without End. All the dead are really alive. Have no fear. The Grim Reaper has died. It's life without end. The heart is spinning. It spirals so, do you know? The light dances in the brain, and richness is found in an open hand. To know from within what is real, let go of all that which holds you in its tomb. Abide in the one mercy, which is forever bound nowhere. This is called, yeah, Lisa, you've heard this before, actually. It's called Heartcracker. And this was about a relationship I had a long time ago. And I don't really write things like this, but I thought, let's see what we can feel about this and actually put it on paper for a change. Because I usually write kind of like more psychological, spiritual stuff, but this was, you know, about a relationship, so it's different theme. Heartcracker. Why did I love you? La di da di da. Gave all I had and more. I really loved you so much. And then the parting. Oh, it hurts so much. Sorry, I'm crying. Feel embarrassed. You're a hard rock, my love. That's broken me. Why does your love hurt so much? Felt so alone, so alone. God, take the pain away. La di da di da. On my knees. I still love you so very much. But it hurts to be with you. Guess it's time to go. La di da di da. Goodbye. Okay. This one's called Rainy Day. Listen to the rain. Into the garden it falls. This day I am lulled away. Let me hide in its freshness. At night, in bed, warm, the rain falls. I am lulled away into deep sleep.
I didn't hear that.
Huh?
That's new to me.
Okay. You're done. Solar light. Solar is like soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's lunchtime in heaven. A bright day with mildness. Head bursts with emptiness. I guess I am today. Time has gone today. Love me one more time if you trust yourself. Oh, be true. Don't be blue. I love you. Heaven's here, but so is hell. So near. Do you know the people are scared of the shadows they make and live waiting to be touched? Our bodies are God. And to tell you the truth, love shall be the whole law. Love dwelleth within us all. Last one. This is called Becoming. Today it's bright. I can't even see. Eyes hurt. The sound of ants walking on their eternal march. I am falling into black inner space. Invisible hands lend support. It's so big in here, still falling into peace. No Buddha here to greet me. I am here, here, here. It seems so limitless. What we need, we got. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I like the Grim Reaper's dead.
Well, the time for everyone, you know.
Mm.
I mean, it has to be. I mean, if something is created, it must also be destroyed at some point. I mean, generally speaking, you know. But I like the idea of that even death can be destroyed. I mean, you know, it's a nice change, because the way I see the Grim Reaper portrayed is like something to be really scared of, and it's got this power over us and fear. And I like to say, I'm sorry, but your time's up too, you know. You can't carry on forever. You're out, your job's finished, you know. So that's it. It's just a bit of it's an attack on this kind of romanticism with death that people have. And I hate these T-shirts with Grim Reapers on and skulls and things. And I just think, why don't you put something kind of a bit nicer on, you know, but like a whale or something.
Yeah, and also the Heartcracker, was it called?
Heartcracker, yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose that's the whole thing, is that this is like a place where, going back to the lady who was on earlier with the blonde hair, you know, she was saying that poem that she read was about being vulnerable and in the right place, but being able to open up to like-minded people and express how you truly feel, you know, those emotions that aren't always pretty, and but they are very real, and that part of us that we don't usually like to reveal, you know. So it's nice that you can lead with your example of being open, and you know.
I think so. I think we can, all of us, if we want to, just take some courage and to, you know, if things around you, let's just say people lie, and you know they're lying, you don't say anything, then you know you're a part of like supporting ignorance, and to tell the truth, which might be difficult, is actually shining a light on the darkness that's there. And you become an example. I don't mean you do it for yourself. You do it because truth is truth about something. That what you know, what the perspective is very subjective, fear-based, uncourageous, and you're saying you don't have to be like that. And I've tried to live like that most of the time. And I have to say most of the time, because I'm human, and I have fear in me too, you know. But I've also done things which have been sometimes people are frightened. But I don't know, I feel this sort of indignation inside, this righteousness to speak up as well about things which are the wrong. I just say, that's not right. And it comes like very powerful. That's not right. I said, you stop that. I'm not accepting it. And which isn't my usual kind of thing. I try to be easygoing and smile and make jokes, but there are other bits there, you know. And I think there's, if we can express that, we remind people of the truth. If you do it in the right way, rather just speak it rather than kind of be like this, you know. But that does exist as well. So anyway, we finish with Norman. He's going to play us out, I think. So hand you over to Norman.
Okay, some setting up required, so I'm gonna have to move this. That was my other djembe acting as stand. Now I can move to here, and I need some space to sit on the piano. Okay, there you go. Mela. So there's me, but maybe we should have some more piano angle. Let's try that. There you go, there's some piano there for you to actually see me play. So we have piano, and I'm, sorry?
See you a bit more.
Yeah, they see me a bit more, yes.
I'll get out the way. I don't want
That's alright, Paolo, no
to hog
problem.
his space. I'm going for a wee.
Okay.
Go for a wee, actually.
Mela, careful of the
Yes, I am. Don't worry, I am.
wires.
It's all right. I'm perfect.
Okay.
These guys.
So, the idea here is I got inspired by Mr. B behind me. And when I do stuff here that goes into one of my favorite genres, Paolo gives me some very good feedback, and I've also received some other feedback, and I got some stimulation. So I invite you to enjoy a piece that you already know the main tune. I'm not even going to introduce it. You'll recognize it within the first, maybe even 2 notes, but definitely within the first 4 or 5, because they're the same. And then enjoy the rest. All right, and then there's my own interpretation. So I don't know would you like to see me, or would you like to see the keyboard?
A bit of both, but
You can push your
I'm playing, I can't tilt, so it's gonna have to be one shot going. So I opt for this, to be honest. Right? At least you see some action going on, although it's not gonna be all. However, here we are. Enjoy. Let me get into the mood. And
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
That's it. It wraps it up. Paolo, any parting
Yeah, no, I'll tell you, I
words?
want you to do a short version of Summertime.
A short version of Summertime. Okay,
Yeah, so I'm not too long, but
no
it's
problem.
going to be nice because it's a lovely piece of music. I'm sure everybody will like it.
Mela,
I hope.
let's go for that. And some more volume, maybe. Thank you. Okay, so I'll go straight into my own arrangement. Completely unplanned, by the way. I didn't know this.
No.
Woo!
Hi.
Done.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
No.
Totally impromptu.
I'm
So I
sure.
couldn't help but sing along a little bit there.
Yeah, it's just a nice. That's I'd never heard that before. So, I mean, Norman is very spontaneous, and you don't know what he's going to do next. So he's always full of surprises, like the Joker.
I surprised myself, by the way, because I chose 3 or 4 different things during this playing right here, right now. Never done before.
That's what I like: is the spontaneity and the innovation. It's,
Whoa.
it kind of feeds the spirit when you see that. Instead of repetition, is to me as a killer. And then originality, spontaneity is soul to rise up. Just a point, one way or another, just going to mention it. There is a, let me see. I'll keep it short because we're going to finish now. And that's that there's a few, there's 3 guys on the island, Malta Gozo sister island. And they are going to open a energy medicine clinic. And now these are all dedicated to energy medicine, and they have different protocols, equipment, different approaches. And I was speaking to one of them the other day, who's a friend of mine. The other 2 I don't know, and he was saying they're actually see where there's a correspondence between one approach and the other in terms of diagnosis, and they found them actually sort of locking. They actually support each other. So from 2 different angles, they come up with the same understanding about the illness. Okay.
Is it using like vibration, frequency?
Yeah, it's all about frequency. It's back to Nikola Tesla, really. Basically, it's vibration, frequency.
Sensation.
Hey?
It's a sensation. You can feel the energy.
On a practical level, they're looking for a place where the 3 of them can exist, operate. So it's a clinic, and I mean, what they're interested in is medical tourism. So people come here, and they can be treated for problems which they can't otherwise be helped with, and they get, as far as I'm aware, and people follow the protocols. Certainly with my friend, I can't speak for the others, and he gets results. He uses electro gem therapy. He was kind of apprentice to the guy that invented the whole thing.
Sorry, Paul, you kind of cut out halfway through the words. Electro, what therapy?
It's electro gem or electro crystal therapy, basically, where you have crystals and you put light through them. They become much more powerful than crystals on their own.
They have also patches that do that as well. I hooked up with a group here just recently. It's called Lightwave. The doctor who has the patch, what?
No, no, I teach for a group called Lightwave. Meditation group. It's called Lightwave. We're all over the world.
That's what it's called.
No, I'm just saying.
Unbelievable.
It's just
the coincidence is unbelievable.
That's all. Yeah.
It works though. It really does. It's the same principle as using light waves. It really does work.
Yeah.
You used it on animals as well. You can use once you've used the patch on yourself, the crystal sits on it looks like a little band-aid almost, and the paste sits on the part of the band-aid, and once you've used it on a human, it's more diluted, so the dosage is more appropriate for an animal. You stick it to the back of their collar. The same idea, like Norman, what I was telling you yesterday with the little dog bone shaped diffusers I want to start introducing people to, and it has like a sponge inside of what looks like a locket that sits on their collar, and you can put aromatherapy into there, and it's the way to go.
Do you know, if I have to go out, I go onto YouTube, and you know the solfeggio channels where they have all the different hertz, and I put it on for the dog because I've done it for her for that long.
100%.
As soon as it comes on, she's like there on the couch.
100%. I do the same thing. In fact,
he responds well.
It is the right thing to do because they go through separation anxiety as well. So if you put on music, especially if it's similar music that you sometimes listen to, then they connect to the music.
Well, I do have this kind of sound therapy, you know, it's all like specific frequencies of sound for healing and all different, you know, all kinds of different ones on YouTube. It's amazing. They're all free. And you can put them on. They're on for like 5 hours, sometimes 8 hours. And it's in the same vein. It's vibrational medicine.
Even just soft like classical, or my dog happens to love a lot of very soft piano type music. If I notice, because he gets anxious sometimes with the kids screaming and yelling outside, I'll put it on, and within a few minutes he's
chilled.
Often I'll come back in from outside and he'll just be
I just finished off. If I can just finish off what I was saying, otherwise I'll lose the thread. Anyway, they're going to open a clinic, and they're going to be treating people, and they're very effective. And that's it really. The fact that they're operating. One of them, his name is Mark. There's a guy called Matt. He's Maltese. There's my friend who's English. His name's Chris. And then there's Mark. Mark has all the state-of-the-art equipment. I mean, they can diagnose. You scan the whole body from a distance and tell you exactly where the problems are, or anything that's coming up in your health, and also treat you with the same equipment. He's got.
When are they looking to be up and running, or are they?
He's running now. It's just that they haven't they haven't converged in a physical space as a clinic, and but that's what they're starting to do, and they're getting the support of a guy who's into tourism, who's got a bit of power. You need everything like that here, and so you know, if people have any kind of like serious illnesses or any kind of illness that you, other things aren't work, these might be. I'm only mentioning it because it's a good thing.
Oh,
And you can have a look at the website and see all the stuff they've got. I mean, it's quite it's something you don't see very often. I think a lot of it's from Germany.
Sorry.
From Germany.
Oh.
Yeah.
You put the link on the Maltese, the Malta Poet Society.
The link for the website is very, very simple.
Yeah, it says you tell them.
Atlantis.clinic.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it. Atlantis.clinic.
Yep, that's it. You'll see all the stuff. And
Okay. I wouldn't mind checking them out, see what they do. It's an area that I love. Vibrational medicine, I just love.
Well,
I have tuning forks myself, you know, a whole gamut of tuning forks.
well, you're very sound oriented vibrationally, aren't you? You know, it's.
Yeah, homeopathy as well, vibrational medicine. That's how that apparently works. I'm not an expert, but apparently that's how homeopathy works. It sets off that vibration at a molecular level, and that triggers your own healing. I've used homeopathy over the years quite a lot, but yeah, anything connected to vibration and sounds. I think that's the way everything's going now, isn't it? We're seeing the connection in our. Hi, you're back. Can't hear you though.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Anyway.
Oh, there's a connection problem.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, that's about it, really. So I'd just like to thank you. I thank everybody for contributing tonight, and the folks who are. And
thanks for having us.
We'll be doing another one in a month's time. What date is it?
Third Saturday.
Third Saturday of the month. You put this in your
Third Saturday of November will be calendar.
Guy's clever. He can use this thing phone business.
Hopefully not the 20th.
20th it is.
I'll be gigging. Sorry. Unless it gets cancelled, in which case I'll be here.
Well, a calendar here I have. It's
hang on, let's just see what comes up.
Well, November. Yeah, there's only 4, so it's 6/13/2027. Third Saturday is the 20th.
The 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But Lisa.
Unless it gets cancelled, in which case sometimes they do. I've just had a cancellation for New Year's Eve.
Exactly.
So hopefully, you never know what happens.
Well, you can still see. You can still watch the recording, of course, if you're gigging, and if you do, like, good luck and best of luck with your gig. But it will be available as a recording. We'll upload it. We might have to edit. Hopefully, not much. I'll have to edit this one, for example, today. But it will be up on my YouTube channel, Paolo's YouTube channel, and it will be up as a post on Malta Poet Society.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody else who's like us, you know, like-minded, like-hearted in terms of culture and poetry, and you'd like to let them know about us, always point people to Paolo. So Paolo knows who's attending, and maybe if they want to participate, he's the go-to person for the organization. I would be the go-to person technically. So anybody new whom you would like to invite, you make sure you get them in contact with both of us for the different reasons. Paolo, so that he knows that they're on, and me, so that if there's technical issues, like today, for example, I sent out another link because the original one didn't work. They need to be in touch with me, otherwise they won't be able to get on.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Again, thanks very much, because it made, it's nice. There's a quality that's felt that, will otherwise not be felt, which is positive as a result of this union.
See you next time in terms of recording. Let me stop the recording.